excited. And this next guy came on the stage, super excited. Please make it loud for Chris Hollstein. All right, buddy. Oh, you got it. You got it.
I got it. That was close. That was close. Hey, give it up for your host, Ben. He's doing a killer job. Thank you all for coming out to Rooster Feathers on the New Talent Showcase. There's a bunch of first-timers here. They are shaking it up tonight. I don't have a lot of advice for them. They're killing it. Only advice I have is that, very important thing to have as an amateur comedian, is confidence. And I got to tell you that one of the most important things, nothing gives me more confidence than performing in front of a giant cartoon cock right over my shoulder. It seriously makes me feel inadequate at all times. But in reality, most things do. I started doing comedy here about 5 months ago on this very stage. So I am an amateur still. I can count the number of good sets I've had on one hand. I can count the number of bad sets I've had on all of your hands. I am adopted. That's that's only a punchline if you're me. I'm adopted and I was raised by white people, which means I'm super whitewashed. I am basically an honorary white person like Tiger Woods or Will Smith. Because we were all raised and loved by white people in one way or another. It's not a racist joke. All right, I'm going to try something real quick. I need your help. I'm so white.
How white are you?
I think Matt Damon was amazing in The Great Wall. I'm so white.
How white are you?
I have a thing for Asian women. Sunnyvale loves that joke. This man's offended already. Wow, he didn't see the other comics. Straight up pedophile jokes. I'm so white.
How white are you?
I think the Chinese food at Safeway is pretty good. Last one. I'm so white.
How white are you?
I still wear tidy whities. Although at my age, they're more like Smello yellows. It's like I turned 34, my bladder was like, don't hold my beer. It's like I turned 35 and my bladder was like Gandalf on the bridge of Khazad-dûm, and all the liquids were coming at him like the Balrog, and he just stood there and said, "You shall pass." It's like I turned 36 and my bladder was like the US-Mexico border and all the cervezas trying to come through. You get where I'm going. I'm going to change the subject. It's a very quick turnaround. My wife and I have been married for over 5 years now. 5 years. You don't need to applause. It's really weird. Thank you. We're at that point in our relationship where all the magic has kind of dried up into a condensed ball of resentment that we hide under the bathroom sink. My therapist suggested that sometimes fantasy can rekindle that romance. So we talked about it and said, let's have a fantasy-filled weekend. My sister picks our kid up on Friday night, and we get a good night's sleep, and on Saturday morning we woke up, we looked at each other, all by ourselves, just us for the first time in years. And you know what? We didn't leave the bed the entire day. We went hardcore and watched the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. And after it was over, we both still really loved the Lord of the Rings. And magic. Friends, that was my second Lord of the Rings joke in one set, if you were paying attention. I'm living proof that someday you too will find someone that will look you deep in the eyes and say, I guess. That was an eye roll in case you were in the back or just racist. How am I married is what a lot of you are asking yourselves right now. Because I bet there's some single people in here that aren't comedians and they're a little pissed off that I'm happily married. I don't know the secret, honestly. When we got married, I was unemployed. I had less than $1,000 to my name. I still looked like this. You're not supposed to laugh at that one. And I had a video game obsession that was so bad, I had to ask her to take the Xbox controllers to work with her so that I would not play Call of Duty all day long. And yes, that is a fact. And I'm old as fuck. I know I look like I should be applying to colleges, but I am very, very middle-aged. I get stupid people coming at me saying stupid things all the time like, oh, you look so young for your age. How do you look so young? I wish I could look so young. Yeah? Well, I feel like I'm 100 years old, and every time you speak, I feel even older. So shut up. Seriously, I got a bad back. I have a bad knee. Last week, I caught them huffing glue behind the house. It's terrible. I can barely walk, let alone run. I have to wear a back brace every time I want to buy a bag of dog food. It's true. The only thing I can think of is that The only thing I can think of is that I'm married because my wife knows that I will never, ever cheat on her. Wow. How does she know this? It's just a setup. She knows this because she knows a little something about my childhood that not a lot of people know about. She knows that when I was 5 years old, I watched the Michael Douglas Glenn Close feature film, Fatal Attraction. I was 5. Do the math. And when you're 5 years old and you watch Fatal Attraction, you learn 2 very important things. 1, never ever cheat. And 2, my parents were amateur parents. That's my time, Rooster T. Feathers. Thank you so much. I'll be at Cobb's Comedy in 2 weeks on September 16th. Come out and see me again. Thank you. Thank you, Ben.
Married.